Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. On today's Fit Club, we are ending the debates. Breakfast, showers, and fasting. Stay tuned for more.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Welcome, Fit Clubbers. We are back. I'm your host, Shaka Smith. Hey, nice little cheering section. I'm your host, Shaka Smith, joined by IFBB Pro Annie Parker. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. It's always fun to be here.
Yeah, exactly. We got a bunch of great stories. I really want to make sure I had a pro in to tackle some of these stories. So
love it.
We'll hear your thoughts on these debates and ending these debates.
I love debates.
But before we even get into that, a new study came out. This was in a study in the British Medical Journal, and it looked at extending the disease-free years of your life. And what 5 healthy habits actually extend the disease-free years of your life the most. Because obviously you want more years, but you want more quality years.
Totally.
And this study found that women were able to extend the disease-free years of life by 10 years and men by 7 years if they followed these 5 steps. 1, exercise regularly. I'm for it.
Yep.
Drink in moderation, but at least drink is on the list. You can drink in
Yeah.
moderation. 3, have a healthy weight. 4, have a good diet, and 5, not smoke. And a lot of, some of the good diet stuff was really about portion control. When they said drink in moderation, it was about having a glass of wine or a beer a day. That was it.
Yeah.
So, of course we knew that these are 5 healthy habits to have, but that they actually make a difference when it comes to the quality of life, disease-free life.
Yeah.
I thought was really important to underscore. And I think the best part about it is the reason they tackled these disease. They looked at, when they said disease-free, they looked at cancer, heart problems, and type 2 diabetes, because these are the 3 most common in old age.
Totally. And I would even throw Canadian whiskey in there because my grandpa's almost 93 and he drinks a glass of Canadian whiskey every day. So, yeah, and I think, we saw a lot less, because right now, I know quite a few people in their 90s actually, and I think it's because they kind of came up eating a lot of unprocessed foods where, I think now we have to be a lot more careful because of marketing and everything else. There's so much more processed
And our
food.
portions are bigger, so not more processed food, but we're eating more of it too.
Yeah, completely. So I think you do have to be really careful. And yeah, I think drinks are fine. Like I said, my grandpa's been drinking every day of his life almost, but a glass.
Yeah.
So I think it can be totally fine for you, but everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Food sizes, everything.
And what I thought was interesting about this, this was a subsection of, it was 111,000 people over 20 years, so quite comprehensive, but the majority of the people were white health professionals. So I would almost think that the results might be even more pronounced, because I think that's more probably a privileged group. They probably have better access to medicine.
Totally.
So, people that have really bad negative health outcomes, I think this could really benefit if they're able to kind of find a way to stick to these sort of 5 parameters.
Yeah, because I would say probably our southern states have more like type 2 diabetes and stuff like that, because that is directly proportionate to your food. You know what I mean? And where you're eating a lot of fried food, stuff like that, fatty foods, high sugar foods, things that I love, but can't eat. That's what leads to type 2 diabetes. And yeah, so the more, look at us here in LA, we have access to all this like healthy food and stuff like that. And other parts of the country don't have that, Midwest and down south, places like that. So
yeah, we got to change our messaging. It's not just about looking good, but it's actually about having quality years of life.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I thought it was an interesting study. But one of the debates that we've I think we've talked about this probably over the years, is hot and cold showers, whether or not they're beneficial, when you should have them. When it comes to fitness, sometimes you want to take a cold shower right before to kind of make the muscles look better. So we always have these debates. But today we're going to end the debate and talk about the benefits of hot showers versus cold showers. And a lot of these studies actually look at immersion. So if you're looking to really, get the maximal effect of a hot shower versus a cold shower, you might want a hot bath versus a cold bath. But of course, when it comes to cold showering, you're looking at decreased inflammation and swelling, decrease of muscle spasms, pain relief, increased metabolism, heart rate, improved general hydration by cooling down the body as well. And of course, you get an improved pain response so that you are kind of dulling some of the pain. What do you think about cold therapy? Have you done some of the cryo? I'm a big cryo fan. Are you a cryo fan?
I mean, I wouldn't call myself a fan because I
Yeah.
hate being cold, but I have done it and I do like it. I
Yeah.
think there's such benefit, and that's why athletes get in an ice bath after and do cryo and stuff like that, especially when I was competing and, really beating on myself quite a lot. Cryo was super important. And I do think, ice and heat, a lot of like therapists and people like that, if you have any soreness or anything like that, I think both are really beneficial. First ice, then heat, or I don't really know, maybe opposite. But.
Well, in the hot studies, in the looking at the immersion in hot showers, they also found improved health, cardiovascular health, blood flow, reduced arterial stiffness, which was really important for people with sort of bad cardiovascular problems.
Yeah.
Reduction in pain and improved knee functioning as well. And they've said that it actually improves your sleep. And if you have a hot shower 1 to 2 hours before bed, that's like the best time to actually improve sleep. So they both have a lot of benefits, and maybe you want to include a cold shower than a hot shower.
Yeah.
Is that something you've done or you do?
I mean, I wouldn't say cold shower, but I've definitely taken like a lukewarm shower in the morning and then like a hot bath or shower at night. I'm a big fan of a salt bath.
Yeah.
So, and yes, I think that 100%, because I pretty much only do it at night, like shortly before bed. So I think that totally helps sleep.
Yeah, when I was training, I think you were saying Lady Gaga does a cryo after show, then she gets a warm bath.
Yeah.
I would do the opposite when I was training. I would go with the warm shower, and I would gradually decrease it till it was like bone cold, so that when I would leave, my metabolism would be jacked up, kind of getting me,
Yeah, no.
The gradual decrease isn't so bad, though. If you decrease it gradually, at some point it does get rough.
Yeah.
But that was my thing. I think it worked out. But when it comes to the debate, it really looks like it's all about the effect and what you want. And so if you're really looking to jack up the metabolism and reduce the soreness and the inflammation, you might want to go with a cold shower.
Yeah.
If you want to increase the blood flow and the arterial function, reduce the arterial stiffness, and maybe get ready for bed, you might want to go with something warm.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've ended the debate. It's all about what you want as your goal.
And I like both.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So whatever day of the week.
Yeah.
So another big debate that's been going around is intermittent fasting. Whether or not we should be fasting. I know a lot of people, especially in the bodybuilding world, are always concerned about muscle loss, and we might have a few answers there. It looks like the New England Journal of Medicine, December 2019, they found that there are other benefits than just weight loss when it comes to intermittent fasting, and those include improved glucose regulation, reduced blood pressure and resting heart rate, reduced inflammation, and improved muscle health. And that last one got me, improved muscle health. Muscle health. And they looked at another study that looked at men that fasted for 16 hours a day. They only lost fat. There was no loss of muscle. What did you think about that? Did that surprise you at all?
It actually doesn't surprise me at all, because even when, I was competing and building muscle and everything like that, I've actually never been a breakfast eater. So I've always had my last meal 2 hours before bedtime, or at least an hour before bedtime. And then I don't eat, I would say the earliest I eat is maybe 10:30, 11 in the morning. So there's always a solid 14 to 16 hours from my last meal to my first meal. And I think that's actually really important, because our digestion needs a break.
Yeah.
So.
And they find that intermittent fasting, that your body starts to heal itself, because sometimes it kills the cells that need to be used as energy for the body.
Yeah.
And so this is when we get into ketosis and we talk about the keto diet, which I think the keto diet is not necessarily sustainable as it is. They say for the keto diet you want 20 grams of carbohydrates or less a day. That's a little intense, but on an intermittent fasting diet you can still go into ketosis and use those ketones as energy as well. So
yeah, I'm a little too in love with fruit to be considered keto, but I would consider myself low carb.
Yeah.
So.
And if you're doing the 14 hours a day, they say it also triggers the antioxidant response of the body, and that contributes to anti-aging as well.
I mean, honestly, I think if we really think about how many processes happen when we're sleeping, when we're resting, your body having that rest from solid food, I think is really important. And especially too, like what we were just talking about, there's so much processed food now. Our body's working harder. Our meals are bigger. It 100% needs that downtime to recover itself every day. Yeah.
And well, someone who doesn't really agree with you would be Mark Wahlberg.
I've heard.
So he is not in agreement, and he has now challenged Dr. Oz. So Dr. Oz recently came out and said he wanted to cancel breakfast, and I think we have a clip of him talking about canceling breakfast.
Oh, I love it.
It's 2020. What are the new health fads that we shouldn't be doing? You know, it's a new decade. It's what should we be looking out for? What should we be doing?
I think for 2020, one of the first things I'm going to do is ban breakfast. I don't think we need to eat breakfast. That's an advertising ploy that most
What?
people...
I thought we needed 3 basic meals. I go by the food pyramid.
Unfortunately, a lot of the dogma we were fed for decades came out of advertisements. It wasn't really based on the truth around our health. The smartest thing for us to do is cancel breakfast, have your first meal when you're actually hungry, which if you're intermittent fasting and you haven't had a late dinner, it won't happen until midway through the morning. In fact, cancel breakfast, have brunch every day of the week.
You want to cancel breakfast? This
I like brunch.
This is insane right now.
Cancel breakfast, have brunch. So you're in agreement with Dr. Oz here.
You know, I have a master's in nutrition, and even with that, I mean, that's, you know, I eat very intuitively, and I eat, my timing of my food is very intuitive, and I have legitimately, since I was little, I've never, not even breakfast food, I have just never been hungry in the morning and never wanted to eat in the morning, and my stomach almost doesn't feel good when I eat in the morning. So just following what my body likes, that's just been 100% natural to me. And I've never felt any kind of way about it, you know, or
that's
lost
how I stumbled on fasting, is that I was looking at periods of my life when I felt like I was physically in the best shape, and I just realized I was happening to eat like way later in the day, and I was like, wait, but I was still eating a lot when I did eat, you know, so I was feeling very full. And I realized, wait a minute, I think I'm just naturally intermittent fasting. And then I started to incorporate that as like an actual thing in my diet and think about it.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, if you think of the word breakfast, like I was saying earlier, it's like break fast. Yeah. It doesn't matter when you have it, really. So what exactly was Marky Mark saying? What's his problem?
Well, so you know
he likes pancakes.
So he's got F45 now. I think he's a part owner in F45, the range of gyms that's kind of blowing up right now. But he works out very hard. Yeah. So he's saying, if he doesn't eat that much for breakfast, he's not going to have the energy to work out. And
I would say the caveat to all of that is the morning crew of workout people. I've never been one of them. I would say my blood sugar does crash a bit if I do like a fasted workout in the morning and then China tea. Like I would have to, I really do believe you probably have to eat within an hour after your workout. So if you're a morning workout person.
Well, I'd say after, if you're going to, but for your feeling though, like if you're going to feel weak afterwards. But I don't think it's going to be, do you think it wouldn't interfere with your muscle building?
No.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be based on how you feel. But interesting, they have now challenged each other, or Dr. Oz has now challenged Mark Wahlberg, who invited him to train with them. He now challenged him to one-legged push-ups. And they are going to go for a one-legged push-up challenge. Do we have the clip here? See if we can play this.
That's hilarious.
I mean, just picture it.
Reconnect.
Just picturing Dr. Oz and Mark Wahlberg doing a one-leg push-up challenge, so we'll have it up in a second. But who do you have your money on winning?
Well, I mean, are they both fasted?
No. One will have eaten, you know, and then basically they're going to go in as they believe they should be going in. Dr. Oz will go in not having anything in the morning, you know, and Mark Wahlberg will go in having eaten his breakfast.
feel like this is really unfair. This is like a biased study here.
No, Dr. Oz, he's the one that said, let's do this. Yeah. Let's see if we got the clip.
Have you reached out to Mark Wahlberg? I mean, you reached out to him, right?
I reached out to Mark, left a message that said, listen, wherever you are, wherever I am, we'll find a place, we go work out together. When he said I was dead wrong about breakfast, I want to have a little discussion about that.
Oh, yeah. Take that personal, huh?
Well, I looked at the medical literature, and there's another big paper just came out saying the same thing, which is people who intermittent fast, basically skip breakfast, live longer. And they, independent of their weight, and they have to lose weight too, but independent of their weight, they seem to be happier, more focused, and their endurance is better. I mean, think about this. Our ancestors wouldn't get up in the morning and have meal prepared for them. They had to go catch their prey. And so they get up in the morning, they'd be able to endure for a couple hours, track down whatever they're going to eat, they kill it and eat it. So that's what we're doing when we work out, which is why I never eat before I work out. The key question asks Mark and everybody else is thinking about.
So I think this will be quite interesting. And he sounds like he's ready.
I mean, he's not scared.
My money's on Oz. I got to put my money on Oz because it's kind of the way I think it. I believe. You know, I got to put my money where I believe.
I don't think he's wrong. So.
And they even showed in some of these studies, one clinical trial, that for older adults, intermittent fasting improved verbal memory, reversal of insulin resistance, and executive cognitive function, and global cognition as well. well. So it had a lot of mental results, mental benefits for older adults as well. So
thank goodness.
I think Dr. Oz is right on the money. And of course, we have a new award we're going to start giving out here on the Fit Club, and that's going to be our Fighter of the Week award.
Okay.
And so our Fighter of the Week award goes to none other than Beyonce Knowles, who has just she's released her Ivy Park capsule collection, and these are the photos she has she's released to let people know that she's fit, she's bootyful, and she got a new collection out. I think we got from the photos. Tell me, what do you think about this marketing? Is it provocative marketing? Is it going too far, or is it right on point?
I mean, it's Queen Bey. I don't think there is such a thing as going too far, and she's always just kind of, she is who she is, and she's very unapologetic about it. So, I mean, I think that's what everyone loves so much about her, and she kind of evokes this confidence. So it's really kind of remarkable, and I'm down to try it.
And in some ways, I would say she evokes more of the more average woman. She's kind of glamorous, but she's also saying, look, you can be a bigger size, but also look sexy and beautiful and work out and be fit and toned.
Yeah, she's amazing, and I mean, just all of it, just her work ethic, her look. I mean, just.
I think it's so interesting how I think a lot of people have redefined, what's in and what's in style and what is acceptable. I think from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah, it's always changing.
Yeah.
And when we think of who our thought leaders are right now, especially here in LA, she's one of them. Obviously, we got the Kardashians and people like that, and they're kind of running marketing right now.
But I wonder what's the line between marketing ploy and authenticity.
I know, and that's the thing is you really don't know.
Yeah.
Because we don't know these people.
Yeah.
We see TV and what they want us to see on TV, and you and I are in this business, and I think if you've done any reality TV, it's pretty much all scripted reality TV. So none of it is really real.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give her the Fighter of the Week award.
Love it.
Yeah. I thought. She's representing something positive, a positive body image that she puts out.
Yeah.
A little racy, but I think it's also a positive body image. And I love her for doing that 22 Days Vegan that she and Jay-Z kind of went in on when they did.
They did?
Yeah.
I knew J-Lo and A-Rod did that. I didn't know.
I think they had been inspired by Beyonce and Jay-Z having done that. So.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So I love the veganism spreading around the world. Are you there quite yet?
I literally just had this conversation last night. I grew up near farms and all that stuff where they were free roaming cows, and I think I talked about this last time, and it's still just kind of it's gonna be hard for me to give up a steak once a week, and I love you, and I think the one thing we do is celebrate people's differences around here.
That is true in LA. So not yet is what we're saying.
That was my long way of saying absolutely not yet.
Maybe by the next time we have you on. But I want to thank you so much for joining. What do you have coming up?
Oh my gosh. So I'm actually starting a new web series next week called Forbidden Fruit. So that'll be really exciting. Yeah, so I'm getting a little more into acting, and that's been really fun. And just, trying to get on this show more with you because that's so fun. I love it. And then, fitness modeling.
Yeah, I was going to say, we always talk about that pull, that urge to get back on stage. Is it something you ever see down the line? I know it's not now, but do you ever see it down the line, 5, 10 years from now?
Absolutely never.
Absolutely.
That's a hard no. Veganism, maybe. Stage, no.
So when you're 70, you're not thinking, I'm coming back.
No. Yeah, if I was maybe a bored housewife or something, and I just really wanted to do something, but I don't see it.
And so what was that process like, relinquishing or finding that shift from competition to at ease or at peace?
It was really, really beautiful. I didn't realize because I'm a very focused person, and when there's something I want, I focus on it 110%, and I give all to it, almost to the detriment of other things in my life. And it was like that with competing. And competing is one of those things where it's a lot of work with almost no reward. And, besides a little trophy.
Yeah.
So, when I started, hosting a lot more, doing infomercials, commercials, and all of a sudden, I was actually being rewarded and enjoying my work at the same time and all of that. It was just such a natural, healthy transition for me to doing something I love and actually being rewarded and being able to make a living and stuff like that with it, that then on top of it, I didn't realize how unhealthy I was kind of getting with it too, because I was restricting my diet so much and, eating way more than my body really wanted. I wasn't listening to my body.
Yeah.
So when I got back to being an intuitive eater and listening to my body, I was just like, oh, okay.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we don't talk about those transitions enough, especially when you're going from passion to passion, because sometimes it can be difficult, especially when that passion may be to your detriment a little bit.
Yeah. And I would say with competing, it was actually to my detriment a little bit because, I was just, when I'm going for something, I'll risk it all. And that was definitely the case there. And then when I got my pro card, which is what everyone's after when they're competing, it was so anticlimactic.
Yeah, wasn't the magic moment where it's supposed to take you to this other beautiful.
Yeah, it was like one really exciting night of celebration, and then like it's all back to normal. And I had already had little sponsorships and stuff like that, so like nothing changed when I got my pro card. And then it was kind of like you chase after your pro card, and then you chase after competing at Olympia. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you chase one thing, and then you just go start chasing after another thing, and there's never...
Without thinking if it makes you happy.
Right, you never really have a chance to just, like, celebrate where you are. Yeah. Or at least you don't, because it's always like...
What's
next? Yeah,
and then the diet's got to be right for X amount of time,
And people have to remember, like, people think of it as a career because they're giving as much time to it as a career, but it's not a career. You're not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So
and sometimes when you do, then you have managers and this and agent and this to pay out as well. So it's not really a viable career.
Yeah, totally.
Well, appreciate you sharing that with us, and again having again. So hopefully we'll have you again for many more episodes to come.
I love it. I'll be here as much as you want.
Where can they find you?
Ms. Annie Parker on Instagram, so that's MS Annie Parker, and Sassy Fit Chick still on Twitter.
And you guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong. See you guys next week.
Bye.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content, and be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.